Right, guys, I want us to plot this graph using the dual intercept method. Now, let's start. For our y-intercept, we're going to let, for our x-intercept, we're going to let y equal to 0. Let's start there. So, 0 is equal to negative 2 x squared minus 2. So now I'm going to transpose. I'm not going to factorize. If you want to factorize, that's also fine. I'm going to transpose the negative 2 to the other side, which is going to become positive 2. Then on the side, I have 2x squared, negative 2x squared. Right, I need to get rid of this negative 2. So I'm going to divide it on both sides first. So meaning 2 divided by 2 is now going to be equal to negative 1. And this side I have x squared. Now I need to get rid of this x squared by taking the root. So I'm going to take, alright, apologies for the interruption. So we were taking the root of the x here so that the x can be alone. But what we do on the left, we must also do on the right. So we're going to take the root of a negative 1. Now, if you still remember that a root of a negative 1 is undefined. So you cannot take a square root of a number. Yes, a cube root you can, but a square root of a number is undefined. So meaning these x values are actually undefined. Even if you factorize, if you wanted to factorize, okay, now the flashlight is gone. If you factorize, now look at this. You have 2x squared minus 2. If you factorize and you take out, let's say, negative 2 as a factor, because I don't want my x squared to have a negative, then this is going to be positive, because negative times positive is going to be negative here. And then 1. Now, if you look at this bracket, you cannot do difference of 2 squares because you have a plus here. So you cannot factorize this. The only thing you can do is divide by 2 on the other side, which is automatically going to be 0. So you just have x squared plus 1. What are you planning to do with this? Because I do not know any motion as to what we can do here, unless if we transpose. But now this is a lot. So this becomes undefined because we cannot factorize it. So what does this mean for us in terms of our parabola? It means that it does not have any x values. So the x is undefined at this point where y is equal to 0. Right, let's leave it. Let's do our y-intercept, where we let x equal to 0. So y is equal to negative 2. In the place of 0, in the place of x, we put 0 minus 2. Okay, so let's solve this part. If we square this, it's still 0 multiplied by that, which is 0 minus 2. So y is equal to negative 2. So this is our turning point. Yes, this is our turning point, right? And it's in form of 0 is to negative 2. So this is the only valid point that we have, and this one is undefined. Now let's plot our graph with what we have. So our turning point is at 0 and negative 2. So where is our graph looking? So guys, how would we plot this graph? We only have one point. What are we going to use to lead ourselves into pointing a good and a correct graph? Alright, so I'm thinking we should look at this. This is a sign. Remember I said that when you have a negative for the A, the graph will be looking down, meaning it will be sad. So this means a graph will be looking down. If this is our turning point, it means a graph is going to move like this. Do you see that? The reason why we do not have x-intercept here in terms of the graph cutting at the x's, you see where the graph is. It's not cutting the x-axis, hence we cannot find where the graph is passing by the x-axis. So this is very important to note, that for a graph to be defined in terms of x-axis, it has to cut there by the x-axis. But now if it's not cutting, it's just cutting on the y, it's not cutting on the x-axis, hence it became undefined.